Hello YouTube friends, Jenny here, back with another episode of FlossTube. And I know I'm a week behind. I'm really sorry about that. Anytime there's a short week with a Monday holiday, my whole schedule just gets all thrown off. And to make matters worse, I'm without a car right now because my car, we took it in to get an inspection sticker, and it ended up having a problem with a spring or something. And my mechanic's on vacation and really busy and couldn't take it for a while. So basically I can't drive the car because the problem could be made worse and the repair therefore costlier. So just my whole schedule's off and I just never got around to filming. So I'm sorry for being a week behind, but that extra week has given me lots of stitching time. So I have a lot to show you today. I've got finishes, updates, starts. I went to my local needlepoint store, so I have to talk about that and show you things and talk about future projects. So a whole lot to talk about. So I'm just going to dive right in. And I'll start with finishes. And the first thing I'll talk about is the fully finished object goal that I set for myself 3 weeks ago when I was going to fully finish 2 items. It didn't happen. I did get a start on it though, and so I brought them here to prove that I did something. I did go ahead and iron. I decided, well, we knew I was going to frame Please Don't Summon Demons, but I decided I'm also going to frame my little rabbiting on, which is the Crewel project that I showed you in my first episode. It's a design by Phillipa Turnbull, and I absolutely love it. So those are going to be the 2 fully finished, and now my goal is by next time to have it done, and I'm certain I can make that one, because what I did get done was I went ahead and cut my mounting boards to the right size for each one, and I put some cotton over it. I located my curved needles, so I'm ready to go. I just need to line up the fabric over the mounting board, use the curved needles, sew it on, pop it in the frame. So I am certain that I can get that done in the next 2 weeks, but I was certain I could get it done in 2 weeks before, and then I gave myself a 3rd week and still couldn't do it, so we'll see. So that was my lack of fully finished objects. But I did have a finish that maybe I'll also fully finish for next time. We'll see, but I don't want to make the goal too stressful because I know it's going to be a busy couple of weeks, so we'll just focus on those. But anyhow, this finish, isn't it so cute? So this is Linen Labels by Hello from Liz Mathews, and you can get this pattern in, I think it's the spring 2022 issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. That's a mouthful. But this is really cute. It's a really fun stitch. I did not use the called for floss because it was out of stock at 123 Stitch. So I used a variegated DMC. The color is, I think, it gets commonly called Driftwood, but I can't remember the number. But as usual, all the details for all my projects will be below. And I definitely can't remember. Oh, the fabric tag is on here, so I can tell you. It is a Zweigart 36 count Edinburgh in the color Winter Moon. So that's that. This could have been a project that you could do in one sitting, but I decided to be a little bananas, and I tried to, because the design is symmetrical, I tried to place my variegation in the exact same spot. So if I worked one flower going this way, starting with the dark pink, working towards brown, then I worked that one going that way so that it would be symmetrical. And for the most part, I was pretty successful. I think it turned out really well. And I decided I'm gonna finish this into a pin cushion. I think I have like a dark rosy pink cotton that will be really nice for the backing. And I might have a little chenille trim that I can use around the edges. I'm not sure. If I don't have that, I'll probably just make some sort of piping in the pink fabric or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But that one is done. I'm very excited about that. So that was all my finishes. So I'll just move right on to updates on works in progress. Okay, so one of the projects that I worked on is Rainbow Brite, which I think it was last time that I was so excited and it was so new and I was showing you. And I'm still excited about this project, but the excitement of it has been a little bit replaced by another project that I'll talk about a little bit later, but I did make some progress. So here's where I'm at with Rainbow Brite. So it's not too bad. It doesn't look like much. I got really bored with this project because this is going to be a ton of white on white and off, like ecru or off white on white. So that's a lot, and that's not very fun. So once I got through her hair and started on the white, I just sort of started getting a little bored with it. I also really dislike doing the quarter stitches, I found. They're really annoying. You have to get them, you can't pull them too tight, they have to be just right, or you can't even see the stitch, and I'm worried that some of my stitches are too tight. So I'm feeling a little bit less enthused about this one, but it might also be just that the seasons are changing and I'm feeling less bright, colorful, and more in the mood for like fall colors. So that could be part of it, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep working on it. I pick it up every now and then between other projects. So hopefully there'll be a little more progress next time on that one. The Star Wars kit, I am making progress on this one, folks. Oh, I don't have anything to put behind it. We'll just try to put my hand up here. This is where I'm at. So this one is a kit by Dimensions. I've talked about it before. And at first I was not having fun with it. Now I'm having a ball with it. Now my problem is trying to work on it with my husband in the house without him finding out. So that it will be a surprise. And that's been really challenging because I don't always hear him walking up the stairs, for example. I'll be in my sewing room and I'll be like stitching away. And then all of a sudden I just see his head at the top of the stairs and I have like seconds to put it all away without seeming like I'm being sneaky and weird. And it's not easy because I'm using my giant frame, and the chart for this is basically like a giant fold-out map, and I've got like the very Star Wars color palette of flosses out, so it's a little hard to be sneaky. But my husband has a couple of weeks of vacation coming up that he's taking, and he's going camping for at least a few of those days with his like guy friends. So those days I'm just gonna very aggressively work on this and see how much I can get done. But I'm having fun with that one. That one's been really great. The project that probably got the most of my attention for the first 2 out of the 3 weeks since we last chatted was Holly Hobby though. And I'm so excited to show you because I made big time progress. She's almost done. In fact, I had, of course there would be cat hair on it. I thought I was done with the stitching except for back stitching because I wasn't gonna put in her hair. I kind of like her like this, but now I keep on looking at her and I think she needs the hair because it adds a little softness somehow to her, and I decided I want to put it in. So now I have more stitching to do, and then of course miles and miles of back stitching. So I definitely have to do that. And I was gonna diligently keep going with this and finish it, but moving on to the start I fell in love with a pattern like so many of you have. When I show you this, you're gonna be like, oh yes, that one. And it is, if you haven't seen it, the Haunted Library Stitch Along by Lola Crow Designs. I just absolutely love it. I'll put a picture of the design, what's been released of it so far, because this is one of those things where you're getting a little piece of it each week, which is really exciting. I love this, and I have never done any sort of mystery stitch along or knit along. Every so often in the past, like knit alongs would come up, and I never do them because I'm always so nervous. I'm like, oh, what if I don't like the finished result, and then I've spent the money on the supplies and put all that time, and that would be so heartbreaking. But this one, from the moment I saw the little skeleton, I knew I was gonna love it and gonna have to do it, because I saw him and I was like, oh, a little skeleton with his nose in a book. And then I thought, but wait, skeletons don't have noses. And then that just became hilarious and I couldn't stop laughing. So the skeleton did it. That's what made me go for it. So I purchased the pattern. And then as far as fabric goes, luckily I had not that long ago placed a 1, 2, 3 stitch order for a piece of fabric for a completely different future project that I'll show you in a minute. And it turned out to be perfect for this project. So it was almost like it was meant to be. So I went ahead and got everything started, and here I am with Haunted Library. And hopefully there's not too much light coming through the back here so you can see it. So this is 3 weeknights and 2 weekend days worth of stitching, which is a lot of progress for me. I can't put this down. I've become, like the 20-minute stitcher was saying about this same design, that she's almost a monogamous stitcher on it because she's enjoying it so much. Me too. I just can't put it down. I love it. It is so cute and it's so fun and it's so easy, and especially when I did all the black to begin with, I didn't have to worry about color changes, so it just really flew. And I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see all the future weeks and what will be in there. And my only hope, I really hope there's no like mummies or like ancient Egyptian creepy stuff like that, because I personally find all of that super creepy, and it all goes back to a Sesame Street episode with Bert and Ernie and a mummy that comes out of the coffin, and I think it sings and dances and is supposed to be cute and funny, but I'm sorry, I am scarred and will forever be terrified of all things ancient Egyptian because of that Sesame Street episode. So I'm really hoping that won't be the case with this one, but we'll see. So anyway, yeah, that's Haunted Library. Oh, and the fabric is by Zweigart. It's a 32 count Belfast and the color is Stormy Night, which totally works for the Haunted Library. So I think it's so great. And I really love working with this fabric. This is my first time working on a 32 count, I think. What did we decide? I can't know. The Edinburgh is not a 32 count. So yeah, my first time with 32 count and with the Belfast linen. And I think this is my absolute favorite fabric. I think I found it. I already really loved the 18 count Aida, so it makes sense that like 32, pretty close to it would be where my heart would be. Just love it. I hope I'm right with that too. It's 32, the Belfast, right? I took the sticker off, so I don't know. Well, anyway, I love this fabric. And I actually have a replacement piece of it in my cart, my 123 stitch cart for the other project I'm going to tell you about. So that is all my works in progress. So I am also still working on my charting adventures, but I don't have anything to show for it yet because I haven't started actually stitching anything. Although I am really, really close to starting on my rooster. I actually redid the chart several times in different sizes because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I made it take a lot longer than it needed to, but I'm almost ready to start him, so hopefully by next time, unless I'm just so obsessed with Haunted Library that I don't do anything else, and that's entirely possible. So yeah, that's everything I've been working on. So now I get to tell you about my visit to my local needle workshop. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun, so much fun. And I was racking my brain thinking, when was the last time I was in a small specialty needle workshop like this? And I'm pretty sure the answer is when I was little. I think it was with my mom. I really can't think of another time. I've been, of course, to like the Joann's and Michael's, the big stores, and I've been to like piles of small fabric stores and things, but not a needle workshop. I have stood outside the one that used to be in Salem that just recently closed, but I didn't end up going in because I had to choose. It was like sort of at the end of the day, and I had to choose between going in there or going to this really, really cute clothing store called, I think it's called Modern Millie Vintage, something like that. And I picked that. Oh well. But at any rate, so my local needlework store is called Stitch New England, and it's run by Pam, who has a FlossTube called Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, and I'm going to put a link below because it's a great FlossTube and you should check it out. And if you're in Massachusetts, you should check out Stitch New England. It's in North Attleboro, which is sort of near the end of Massachusetts, almost to Rhode Island, so hopefully that'll help you place it on a map. And yeah, it is a great little shop. Oh my goodness. There's a whole wall of overdyed floss. There's more charts than you could ever stitch in a lifetime. All around the whole shop are all these beautiful worked up samples to inspire you. I mean, it was awesome. I had the best time. It was so great. So I went in there. My shopping list consisted of, I wanted to get overdyed floss for my rooster, and I'd actually brought my DMC flosses on a ring so that I could kind of like, you know, walk around and match. I really wanted to stick to the kind of shade and tone that I had. Gonna give that emergency vehicle sometime. It's been emergency vehicles all day. We've had a really stormy weather today, and in fact it's been like dark as night for most of the day, so I'm really surprised that it lightened up enough that I can film, and hopefully this won't be too dark for you. But anyhow, back to my local needlework shop. Okay, so I wanted to get the overdyed floss, and the other thing I was thinking of is, as I was telling you last time, I was thinking I might do a Mirabilia, and that I'd fallen in love with Stargazer, and I'll put a picture here of Stargazer so you can see. So I had been kind of thinking of looking for fabric for her, and I've looked at a lot of people's worked up samples of her because I don't like her on the beige fabric. I'm not a real beige and browns kind of a person. I sort of tend to more towards like grays and that sort of thing. So I knew I wasn't going to put her on the tan. So I was looking to see what other people had done to see if there was something that would inspire me. And what I found is that I really love all of them where people have stitched on a darker color fabric, like a dark blue or almost a black. Like that's what I really love her on. And I think it makes sense to me because she's a stargazer and it looks like the night sky. Like that's what I want. So I have this really specific image in my mind of what I wanted. And I think I was telling you that I was even thinking of hand dyeing my own fabric. So before I got into that, I thought I would check at Stitch New England. So flosses I was able to get. She has like every color of floss you could possibly imagine, and I had so much fun. She has the Weeks Dye Works, I think the Gentle Arts is it called, and what's the other one? Can't remember. Drawn a complete blank. Anyway, she has several different lines of the overdyes, like the big popular ones, which was great because I had like everything to choose from. So I was able to find great matches and I'm really happy with them. I cannot wait to work my rooster. These are going to be my first overdyed flosses that I've worked with, so super pumped. And then the fabric, I didn't end up finding a piece of fabric. She has lots of beautiful fabric. And she did have a black fabric. I think it's Fox and Rabbit is the company and the color is Black Swan, but it didn't really have a lot of modeling. It's pretty solid and I really kind of want the modeling in there. So I was being too picky, so I didn't get a piece of fabric, but oh my goodness, I'm so glad I went there and that I got to talk to Pam because she saved me, okay? I was thinking with Mirabilia, with my Stargazer, that I would stitch her on a 40 count to make her a little smaller because I don't really want big humongous things. I don't have a lot of wall space, so making a few giant things would be all I would ever be able to hang. So I tend to try to go a little smaller to size things down a bit. So I was gonna buy an expensive 40 count fabric and Pam saved me because she said, not with the beads, no, go with like maybe a 32. And I'm so thankful for that advice because can you imagine if I invested in like a fancy fabric and did a whole bunch of stitching and then went to apply the beads and realized, oh my goodness, this fabric is too small? That would have been so awful. So thank you so much for saving me from that. That advice is priceless. So yeah, I did not get the fabric, but I got super good help. And okay, so I kind of didn't get the whole beads on a cross stitch thing because in my head, I think I was imagining, you know, like plastic pony beads on cross stitching, and I was like, I don't know, kind of craftsy, not my jam. But she had a Mirabilia stitched up sample in the shop. It wasn't this one. I'll put a picture up here of the design and tell you which design it was because I'm not remembering off the top of my head. But oh my goodness, she stopped me in my tracks, this fairy. So beautiful, and the beads make it. And I think it's because they're so delicate and they're glass and they just catch the light. The light is just dancing off of it. I can't even talk about it, okay? I'm so overwhelmed. I absolutely loved it. I'm fully doing all of the beads and I went from being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do Stargazer to being 100% yes, I am. So again, when I got home, I put the Stargazer pattern right in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart. So I have now, I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit and do things out of order because here she is, my very first Mirabilia. I am so excited, so excited. And I've also put together all the flosses. So that's her color palette. It's so pretty, and there's a surprising amount of pink in there. And I'm thinking that has to be for maybe in her face area because it doesn't look like there's a lot of pink on this pattern here. So, but that was surprising. I really like the color palette, so I'm excited about that. And then the beads, I did go ahead and kind of save them in my wish list for 1, 2, 3 stitch, but I'm not ordering them all right away. I'm gonna wait and make sure I can definitely get a fabric because if I can't find or dye the correct fabric for this, then it'll probably be a while before I stitch her, and then there's no need to spending money on beads right now. But I did buy one. I bought the Magnifica beads. It called for one package of these right here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see these. They're really pretty though. They're sort of like a minty or sea green. They're really kind of like a metallic almost. They're really beautiful. But the reason I went ahead and bought these is because they have been temporarily discontinued by the manufacturer. And they're just, the whole entire line of Magnifica beads are really hard to find. And that's someone sharing their very loud music with us. Cool. Yeah, anyway, so they're temporarily discontinued, and so they're obviously out of stock at 123 Stitch. If you type Magnifica in the 123 Stitch search, you're gonna see like out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. It's so disappointing. But I went and scoured the internet, and I ended up sending messages to a couple different shops. I actually found some on eBay, and they said they had them in, or they showed them as in stock, and I bought them, but they canceled the order. So I guess not. But I finally found one shop that had one left, so I jumped on them. So those beads I have, so yeah, I'm very excited. So regarding Mirabilia, just to kind of wrap up talking about my Stargazer, I did pick up a color of a couple of dyes, and I am going to play with dyeing some fabrics because I'm certain that I can dye the pink fabric that I want for Sewing Cats, which is the Soda Stitch design that I was talking about last time. Because I don't want any modeling or anything on that. I just want a solid pink. So that should be pretty easy. I'm pretty sure I can handle that. When I worked at Plymouth Plantation, I did a whole lot of dyeing linens, especially in solid colors. So I'm comfortable with that. So that should be good. Modeling, however, it's still scary to me. So I did buy a black and a charcoal gray, and I'm gonna try to make my dream fabric for Stargazer, but I'm just so nervous. So also I have a couple of options that I don't think are quite right, but maybe in my 123 Stitch cart, and I reached out to them to see if they do returns, and they did tell me they do, as long as the fabric is still like kind of new, unused, obviously. I think it's 30 days I have to return it. So I'm going to, I think, place a 123 Stitch order with the 2 possible fabrics plus a piece of fabric for me to dye, and I will try dyeing the fabric, and if it fails, hopefully one of those 2 that I bought will work, and I'll just keep one and return the other. But if the dyeing works, then and neither of the other 2 fabrics work, then I'll return those. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. So this is a far future project, but I'm really excited about it, so I can't stop talking about it. But anyhow, that's Stargazer. So yeah, anyhow, just to finish up with my visit to the local needlework shop, because I'm all over the place today. I'm a hot mess. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So as I said, I got my floss. I didn't get the fabric, but I did pick 2 charts because I was just so excited, and in the moment I went for it. I was so excited. So I picked Nighttime Owl by Tiny Modernist, just because this design is so cute, and both of these charts I had seen online before, and they were in my wish list already, so it was just really exciting. Seeing them in person, I was like, oh, I just want it, I'm gonna get it. So I did. I got Nighttime Owl, and she did actually have this exact fabric in stock, but I didn't end up getting it because, first of all, this one I won't stitch for a while. I've got too many projects going on right now, and I know some of you are like, I have 54 works in progress, and I thought I was going to be pretty monogamous, and now I have a whole bunch going on, but I'm kind of at my max right now. I'm not going to start more. I'll plan more, but I'm not going to start more. So I knew it would be a while, and also I'm not sure I'm going to do it on the green. I'm kind of thinking of maybe like a purple kind of, or like a mauve-y color maybe. I don't know. I need to think about it, so I didn't end up buying the fabric. But I got the chart, so that's great. And the other chart I chose is this one by Lindy Stitches. It's called Dracula's Confession. And this one, when I first saw it online, first of all, the bat's really cute. But the quote, "I love the shade and the shadows and would be alone with my thoughts when I may." I love this quote. It's actually from Dracula, from the Bram Stoker. I can't think. From Bram Stoker's book. And I love the quote. and I love vampires. I don't know if you know that about me, but I love vampires. I like reading, especially books that take unique takes on vampires and come up with like creative new ideas. I absolutely love it. And really all things supernatural, like witches and all that kind of thing. And I really love time travel too. So all these kind of, I guess they're fantasy-ish, but I like more the supernatural fantasy. So this is my jam. And this is the one that I actually bought, the fabric that I'm using, Haunted. Okay, that's Woody. He's up to no good again. It's getting close to kitty dinner time, so I'm sorry. Hopefully he won't shake the camera too much. Woody, be a good boy. Anyhow, it's just gonna be crazy. I'm gonna try to wrap this up fast. Okay, so the fabric that I'm using for Haunted Library, that was the one I had actually bought for this. I have no idea. What are you doing? So I have another piece of it in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart because I still want to stitch this, and I think it will be really cute on the gray. I might switch out these hand-dyed colors. I didn't buy any of the floss at her shop, mostly because at that point I was kind of just on sensory overload and not really thinking straight, and also knowing I'm not going to start the project for a while. But I do think I'll be going back to buy the overdyed floss there, and I probably will switch out these colors. I really like the red. I'm not so sure about the orange and the green, so I don't know. I'm not a browns, oranges, and yellows. They don't usually appeal to me unless they're very specific shades, and maybe when I see these in person I'll be like, oh yes, I love that. I don't know, but I might go with kind of more towards like greeny grays or something like that. I don't know. I've got to think about it, and I've got time to think about it, so I'm not worried. But I did go ahead and order, because I was already placing the 1, 2, 3 stitch order for Stargaze. I ordered the silk floss that goes with this chart because I don't know if Stitch New England had it or not, and I just thought, well, if I get really excited and want to start this project, I'll be able to if I have silk floss. So it's by Dinky Dyes, and this color is Black Coral, and I think it's really pretty. I never worked with silk for cross stitching, so this will be pretty fun. It's a real pretty, this was exactly the kind of color I was looking for my rooster, actually. But I think it's going to be so cute. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And that is just about it. I think that's everything I wanted to say. No, it's not. Okay, 2 more things. One, so I found out that, I'm so sorry about the camera shaking. Woody, please stop. Can you hear him? He's so sassy. Oh, okay, so Stitch New England apparently does stitch nights. They have like a weekend one that you have to register for, and then I guess Wednesday nights they have a stitch night that you can just drop in. And I was so excited, and I was like, yes, I'm totally gonna do this. But that was right before my car failed to pass inspections, and I no longer have a car. So I haven't been able to, Woody, I haven't been able to go to a stitch night yet. But once I get my car back on the road, I think I'm gonna do it. I have wicked bad driving anxiety, and I don't like to drive, but the idea of getting to have stitch buddies in person is really exciting. And also, I was kind of scoping out where I could park, because one of my big things with driving is the parking. Like, it's on, her shop is right in downtown North Attleboro, so I'd be dealing with like, what do you call it? Parallel parking, that's what it's called, right? I don't know what's going on with me. I must not have got enough sleep. The brain is not working, and also Woody is very distracting right now. He's a monster, but I love him. Yeah, so I'm not going to be parallel parking, but I was kind of scoping out the situation. I think there are some other places where I could park, you know, business that would be closed, that I could park in it and kind of walk over. I think it could work. So I'm going to try to do that. So that's about it. Okay, so now there's a cat. This is Woody. We've met him before though, I think. Say hi, Woody. He's very happy now because he got the attention he wanted. So anyway, where did I leave off? Oh, okay, so I think the only thing I wanted to say, other than everything else, is that I noticed the other day that I was at 490 subscribers, and I'm just dumbfounded and blown away. I can't believe it. You guys are all so sweet, and I can't believe that many people are interested in my craziness with cats and my stitching and all my other nonsense. So thank you so much for all those follows, and especially for all your comments. I so enjoy getting to know you all through comments, and I'm really glad that I took the leap and did this whole FlossTube thing, because I really do feel connected to the community now, and I feel like I'm making stitchy friends, and it's been so great. So I think when I hit 500, I'm gonna do a giveaway because I know a lot of people do that, and I really think it's fun, and I'm just making sure Woody doesn't eat my floss, sorry. Oh no, not the silk floss either, thank you. Yeah, so I love the excitement of like trying for a giveaway. I think it's such a nice thing, so I think I'm gonna do it. And I'm trying to think of what I could do as a giveaway prize. And I was thinking maybe I'll do one of my handmade cross stitch cases, the vinyl fronted cases. So I think I'm gonna do that. So look for that in my next episode, which will be in 2 weeks, because I'm pretty sure I will have hit the 500 by then, based on kind of how many followers I get per week. So yeah, it's so exciting, and thank you so much again. I love sharing with you. I love getting to know you all, and I look forward to watching all your floss tubes over the next couple weeks while I stitch frantically on Haunted Library trying to catch up. And I hope you have a couple of good stitchy weeks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!